Ciao Ivan, grazie per essere qui, siamo onorati della tua presenza e la prima domanda che tutti si chiedono è: come è nato il 321 Festival? Questa cosa ci incuriosisce molto. A te la risposta.
So, thank you so much for the question, and also thank you so much for having me here. I'm really honored that I'm here in Milano, in Italy, with this great stunt team that you have here, and to give you a response. So, actually, it was an idea of Željko Matovina. Željko is, or Z, as many of you know him. So he's a really known stunt person in Croatia. He used to be also like professional in gymnastics, and he was in a Croatian squad competing professionally. And with time, he actually came to make movies, to participate in movies as a stunt person. And it was actually his idea that we should organize something regarding festival in Croatia that would also bring together all stunt people or one part of the community, not only national but also international. And therefore, when the idea came, I immediately said yes to it. Just to have a background, so I'm a director of Kino Edison in Karlovac. Kino Edison is the second oldest purposely built cinema in Croatia. It was built in 1920. Unfortunately, in 1999 it was closed. For several years later, there were some of screenings going on, but from 2008 it was definitely closed. The city hall managed to buy the property in 2016. Since then, the idea to rebuild it started, and the actual rebuilding of the cinema happened between 2021 and 2023. In 2023, the new old cinema was opened, and I became a first director. It was in September 2023, and immediately we started with planning of the content, of course, that would bring bring public, and that would be interesting not only locally but also on a national level. One of them was definitely Stunt Festival. So when I heard the idea of Željko that he would like to organize Stunt Festival in Karlovac, something that hasn't been done in this part of the world, actually, is the first, the only Stunt Festival, in this part of the world, with giving prizes, or giving awards, and recognizing the stunt industry. I definitely said immediately yes to it, and because it's really attractive, it's something related to the film. The film industry cannot happen without stunt personnel, and therefore we wanted to, of course, give highlight to stunts as well. We wanted to do something attractive, something that would be really nice, and there is a lot of action behind it and so on. And also it has been recognized on the national level as something really interesting. So on our first stunt festival we had already the media, the national media, that covered it up really well, because it was something new. It was actually, for example, on the opening of the Stunt Festival in 2024, there was a direct, the direct interview that went live in a main news on Croatian television. So, and since then, everything was just, falling on, and it was developing with our lot of effort. So the first Stunt Festival, it was in May 2024. It brought a lot of attention. There was really interesting stunt performances, but not only that, there were also really nice and educational workshops. And in 2025, it happened in April. Again, there was a lot of attention that brought the Stunt Festival, and we are really happy how everything was covered. And I can say that we managed to bring together not only, of course, stunts from Croatia, but also this year there were Italian team, which is great. They did great performance, and we're really happy to Simone Belli and his team that participated. There was also a group from France, people from Germany, Russia, Croatia, Slovenia, and so on. You know, so it's really international festival. And also, what is important to say is that all these stunts that we kind of brought together, or most of them, were active in many really high productions, really great productions, like, you know, from Hollywood movies, class A, to some famous series, like for example Cobra 11. We, for 2 times in a row, there was Karl Stuck with us, 3 Taurus Awards winner, which is like Oscar in a stunt world, and we are really grateful for his achievement and for bringing the experience and having the possibility to engage, to give his, as I say, his knowledge to others who participated. And we also, like this year, we included even the younger ones. So we had a little stunt community of kids who were trained to do a choreography, and it was really, really nice. There were a lot of, you know, people that gathered, a lot of parents who were watching, and so on. So we wanted also to share the stunt industry and, you know, the attractiveness to the younger ones. There was a lot of things going on in Karlovac, these, you know, in these 2 festivals, from jumping from the top of our building, from the cinema, to burning people, you know, cars putting in flame, shootings, and you know, the stunt performer being on the top of the car, on the top of the really racing car, you know, and so on. So there are a lot of things, and we are hoping that it will continue like that, and that we will have a lot of things in the future. Of course, working as well with Simone Belli's team, who is great. And this is just one more time to say thank you for inviting us to this festival here in Italy. It's really been amazing, and really it's a great opportunity to meet, share, you know, share ideas, and in order to create something better for the future.
Grazie a te Ivan, siamo onorati che tu sia qui, e passiamo alla seconda domanda. Cosa ne pensi del mondo stunt attuale?
So thank you for the question. I'm not a stunt person, so I'm saying from the organizer point of view, as Kino Edison is organizing the stunt festival and is working together with the stunts. However, I'm not a part of that world, although I have, like, when I was younger, I had experience, of course, in free climbing and skydiving and so on, but some combat sports as well. But actually, I'm not in the industry, but working together really closely with it. And from what I've seen is that stunt, you know, stunt industry in Croatia is developing. We are trying to bring together people so that they have new ideas, they get new experiences, they can hear some experiences from other people as well, internationally wise, and also we want to kind of create the community that will grow. That's why we are so happy with working with international teams, like for example the team of Simone Belli here in Italy. It's great, and as I said, we had a great cooperation last festival in Croatia, and hopefully, of course, we will have more of that, of course, in the future. And when it comes to stunt industry in Croatia, I would say that it's growing, because now lately big productions are being done as well in Croatia, really important films, which of course means that it brings closer stunt community together and makes them active. So we want to give also spotlight to the quiet heroes of the film industry who don't get, I would say, not enough attention. They don't get enough attention. Of course, the spotlight is on the actors, on directors, and so on. Not a lot of it is on the stunt performance. So we want to change that. We want to put them also into the main spot to talk about it and to say more about the necessity of having professional stunt performance in the action movies, not only action movies but mostly, and in industry, film industry in general, and simply to engage them more and to value their work more than it was the case until now.
Grazie mille Ivan. Un'altra domanda, passiamo alla terza. Se dovessi lasciare qualcosa alle future generazioni di stunt o del cinema action, cosa ti sentiresti di lasciare?
So thanks once more for the question. Definitely what could be a legacy of the festival that we're doing is us trying to bring together everyone, to us trying to share the knowledge from one to another and to create new ideas, to give a possibility for the stunt industry in Croatia to grow, but not only in Croatia. Actually, it's a multinational and it's international. So the stunt community is so vast and beautiful and big, and there is no reason why not to share all of these ideas and experiences and so on. So that's why what we want to leave behind is actually the possibility for people who are interested in this industry to participate, to grow, to learn, and to be able to, look back and see where they started from, and to have a chance, to also bring the memory of Kino Edison, who is the organizer of the first stunt festivals in Croatia, in this part of the world, and to, maybe to have this in their back of their heads where it all started.
Grazie Ivan per la risposta. La prossima domanda invece è sul cinema. Come avete vissuto voi in Croazia il post-Covid per quanto riguarda l'industria cinematografica?
So once more, thanks for the question. We actually didn't have the cinema during COVID in Karlovac because the cinema, as I said, the second oldest purposely built cinema in Croatia and the symbol of culture in Karlovac, was actually closed in 1999 because of two reasons mostly. First is because of the destruction during the war in Croatia in the 90s, and the second thing is the economy, and which was really on its knees. So that's why the Karlovac before the 90s had 4 cinemas. All of them were closed during 90s. So for a long time there was no cinema, even during the time of COVID. We were thinking whether people lost the habit of going to the cinema, and how we will be able to bring this habit back. So actually COVID didn't affect us at all because there was no cinema during COVID, so they didn't lose anything. But COVID was little by little going away, let's say, or situation was going better in 2022. By September 2023, when the cinema was opened, there was no mention of COVID at all. And but we still had a long process of bringing people back to the cinema, of bringing the habits back, because of course everybody can watch their films at home, practically everyone. They can have their cinema practically at home. They have Netflix and so on. So most of the people can do it like that. But it's not from the technical aspect. So people can do it. It's more social aspect. So it's completely different to watch a great movie in home alone and it's completely different to go to the cinema, to be a part of the crowd who is watching something on a big screen. And it wasn't easy to bring people back and to bring that habits back, but we are lucky and happy with how it went, because from the day one when we opened cinema in September 2023, people recognized not only the beauty of the cinema, the beauty of going to the cinema, but also the effort to put great movies on the screen, to make them come. And there are really big numbers for a small town like Karlovac of the people who are attending cinema. For example, in 2023, we had more than 42,000 people who came to the cinema to actually watch the movies, with additional more than 14,000 who came for the other organized events. So in total there were more than 57,000 people, which we are really glad because.
Grazie per l'ottima risposta. Prossima domanda. Tutti vorrebbero sapere invece da quanto lavori nell'industria cinematografica e il ruolo che ricopri in essa.
So I've been working in, let's say, culture tourism industry for a long time. Actually, this is my career since I finished my master's. Even before that, I began working in tourist agencies, along with or really close to cultural tourism aspect. I was also working as a cultural tourism expert or specialist in Qatar for more than 5 years, so developing cultural tourism in Qatar before the FIFA World Cup. So it was really nice experience. Also doing similar things in Croatia, and I started being director of Cinema Edison. I was elected as director in May 2023. Before that, for 1 year, I was working on the project of rebringing, revitalization of Cinema Edison in Karlovac, which of course, now it's not only a cinema, it's actually a multimedia center, so it's a cultural center, and obviously it was needed for somebody who experienced in cultural tourism expertise, to actually try to bring this together. But when it comes to cinematography, this is my first professional approach to the cinematography. Of course, I was interested in making films even before. For example, in 2008, 2009, I was also a part of a group of people who was having classes on how to create movies. It was done in Zagreb, in capital of Croatia. It was like a course for cinematographers. So I was always close to cinema, close to the films, and I love this industry. I was just not professionally attached to it until I became a director, and or even before that, when as I said, when I worked on the EU project of bringing Cinema Edison again on its feet. And since then, I've been working really closely, of course, with directors, with actors, with many people from the film industries who come to Cinema Edison, who create movies or make part of the movies and so on. And one, of course, important part of it is a stunt community that we are trying to develop, as I already mentioned, not only nationally wise, but also internationally wise. And I'm so glad that actually this Kino Edison or Cinema Edison in Croatia is the main organizer or the main point where a stunt community comes in this part of Europe, and that we have this possibility to bring stunt community together and also to bring the spotlight to the stunt community, which we're really grateful for.
Grazie dell'ottima risposta come sempre, Ivan. E l'ultima domanda per te è: cosa ne pensi del cinema croato, delle produzioni cinematografiche del tuo paese?
Thank you for your question. So cinematography in Croatia is diverse. I would say that lately there has been a lot of good comedies, good dramas. So it's in that sense I would give a thumbs up, you know. But also there are a lot of films that are still related to the topic of the war, especially war of the 90s. So, and in these movies there is always a lot of necessity to bring stunt people and stunt performance, which is actually great for the stunt community. And I would say that it's going little by little, it's getting there, it's being developed. We are also, as Cinema Edison, we are happy that since 2024 we became the organizer of one of the most important happenings of cinematography in Croatia, which is called Dani Hrvatskog filma, or the Days of Croatian Movie, which is actually the movies of the shorter length. And this event was organized for more than 30 years, only in Zagreb, only in the capital. Since we got opened, it's organized with us, and we are actually the organizer. So we have direct communication with the organizers of the films, with directors, with actors, and so on. And I would say, of course, that I'm happy how it's developing, and hopefully in the future it will even bring more financial possibilities to even create more really good productions and to be recognized globally. I would just like to point out that Nebojša Slijepčević, Croatian director, got the award in Cannes Film Festival for the best film, and was also this is a short film, and also was one of the top candidates for getting the Oscar. He was an Oscar nominee. So this is just one really good example, and this was just last year. So this is just one good example of the quality of the industry that is growing.
Grazie mille Ivan per l'ottima risposta, e soprattutto grazie mille per la tua presenza qui. Siamo onorati di averti avuto tra di noi e aver condiviso con noi la tua esperienza e la tua conoscenza.
So thank you so much. Thank you for having me here and for this interview. I would like to thank Simone Belli and all of his team, who we are really working and we have established really great cooperation this year, and hopefully it is just the first year, and we will have this cooperation, of course, for many years to come. Thank you.